I wanted to swing back to Forex Trendy after I've put together a lot of those scalping videos for Infinity Scalper, which is a great product. And obviously you can click up here to the right and grab that. And the reason I want to go back to Forex Trendy is because someone sent me an email in regards to something that appears on all the charts. And it's this area right here, trend drawdown, 14%. What they were led to believe from some video on YouTube was this was the 14% chance of an uptrend or a downtrend occurring, or something along that lines, a reversal, which is just silliness. So whomever gave them that advice is incorrect. What this basically means is that throughout this entire uptrend, as you can see, we're in an uptrend on the Aussie US on the 1 hour chart, according to Forex Trendy, so we're heading up. And what they're saying is that these pullbacks, right, this is the biggest pullback that we've seen through here, was 52.1 pips, all right, or 14%. How can you use this information is a good question. And this is how you can use this information. When price starts to pull back, this so far has been the biggest drawdown that's occurred in this uptrend. But then you see what happens is we broke back up to the upside. So what we can say, and this is actually called symmetry, is we can say that if price again pulls back this far, it does not negate that we are in an overall uptrend and we would still want to be looking for long trades. All right, if you look down the CAD yen 4 hour chart, you can see that this drawdown here, let me just grab this here. I say drawdown because if you're in a trade and this pulls back, it's called a drawdown. That's what you get in a equity curve. When you see this is actually bigger than this. So this 142 pips on this chart is okay. So if we do pull back this far, it doesn't necessarily mean, oh, this uptrend is done. We're looking for shorts. It simply means that it's pulled back in the same 1-to-1 ratio as this has. All right, let's look at the Aussie yen. Here we are. Again, 18.5% does not mean we have an 18.5% chance of anything happening. What this means is that if we are in a long trade on the Aussie yen, or listen to this one, this is big. If you are looking to get involved in this trend and we get a price pulled back 135 pips, doesn't mean you have to start turning and looking for short trades. Okay? It still means you can take this trade. But here's a tip for you. If you're trading this or any other strategy, these pullbacks are called symmetry. You can actually project these up, right? All of them. You can project these using the Fibonacci tool. So you go from here to here, and you project off of, you know, these swing highs, and they will come in at certain levels, right? Projecting these lengths down. That's actually not a bad area to start looking for trades, especially when you've got a confluence of a support, resistance, or in this case here, it would have been resistance, broken, potential support on the downside. And that's actually a very cool way to trade. And tip of my hand here, that's one thing I love to look at. I will look at these measurements. I can't copy and paste with what I'm using here, Camtasia. But if you were to copy this to here, it's probably pretty close to being the same. And you're just pulling back in this area here, and you get the momentum move down. Okay, so if you're seeing these, this just means if this price pulls back this far, it does not mean the downtrend is over, right? You can still look for a trade. This is just the biggest pullback that's happened in this downtrend, and we've had a continuation to the downside. All right, so don't confuse that. Let's take a quick look at some of the completed patterns that have occurred. We had a flag pattern here. Now you can get all these sent to your phone, so you see what's happening here. This was a pound Aussie trade. You see that we have the flag building up here, right? So we call that a bear flag. And then it broke at 1.6907, so in this area here. And you can see it's toppled down to 63. And if you look down here, we have all our targets, Fibonacci targets. I know how these calculate. It's not the purpose of this video here, but there's a way you can calculate, basically just taking this measurement, and these are basically extensions below. So, you know, when you do a Fibonacci, you get like a 50% pullback here. This would be like a 127. Okay, you understand that? So you're looking at 63. So we've already passed profit 1, profit target 2, and we're just hovering not too far above this one. So when you get this close down, we've hit 2 targets, right? You might want to start looking at, you know, perhaps it's time to start ratcheting your stops a little bit here. So this is actually a really great trade, and this trade would have triggered back on July 11th. So that's a nice trade right there, from 69 down to 63. That's a great trade. I don't really look at oil on this. Let's look at well, EuroCAD. What we got here? Another flag. And look, it broke. When was this? July 3rd, which is over here. It took some heat, right? So it depends again on where you put your stop. You can use ATR stops, which I'm a fan of. Right, just use the ATR times 1.5 times 2, whatever. Pick one. And let's see our targets. We had a target down here. We were at where are we now? We're at basically 44.80 roughly. So we hit all these targets here, and obviously when you start getting 1, 2, 3, 4 taps down this way, you might be thinking that we're going to pull back. So if you're in this trade, you might be out when you saw this. Or you put your stop here and got taken out here. Depends how you trade it, right? You got to have a trade plan. Aussie US, triangle pattern. Actually quite cool the way this one played out. This broke on the 28th. So right here is where they got you in at 76.02. You see that we did rise up to 77, which pretty much gave you target, this target here, right here. And then we pulled back, but you can see that what happened, it bounced off the upper side of this line, right? Totally legitimate trade. You look at this as a trend line break, up, retest, back up to the upside. So these trades pulled off some really, really good profits here. This one here, 96.84, broke down, got down to a low of 95.50. So you got target 1, target 2, so whatever you did there. Triple top, drop, right? What else? Looks at some daily charts. Let's look here, why not? For longer term trades. This is a buy signal that happened on the 28th on this breakout right here and never looked back, from 84.91 and all the way up to 89, and we've already got pretty much that target right there, just hovering below it. So obviously that's been a good trade. 500, right? Not bad, not bad. And there's a few more here. You just anyways. Check out Forex Trendy. I just showed you some examples. These are not cherry picked. I just picked up all the currency pairs. They're all clicked in my settings over here. I'll show you right now. They're all clicked up here. I looked at these only because price patterns for me on these lower time frames are not as reliable. Not that they're not reliable, but the less times you spend trading and get involved in these bigger runs, the less stress there is. And if you are going to look at stuff like scalping, the Infinity Scalper, look at some of those videos. That thing's been doing pretty well as well. But all of these things, you need to have a trade plan. All right, don't just buy them or become a member of Forex Trendy and just start trading these blindly. Have a trade plan. What you're going to do on the breakout, what your stop's going to be, what targets you're going to do, be going for, because all the same. 1, 1.272, 1.618, 2, 2.618. You're going to decide, what am I going to do at these certain levels? What am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, when you're getting into these targets, 2s and these here, price is extending, so you might want to look at locking in some profit. So that's it. Oh, we got emerging pattern here. We got the weekly here. We've got this one still in a wedge pattern, looking for a breakout there. Triangle here, pound Aussie, downtrend line here. Basically, this was just trading the third touch. 1, 2, trade it, south, and then obviously if it's going to break up to the upside, that's another trade altogether for an upside trade. And we are, if you look here, we talked about this before, right? Here's the trend direction. I don't know when this changed to an uptrend. I don't know if it's ever been to a downtrend here. I don't know. But it's a daily chart. Okay, so keep that in mind too. You're going to have different things happening, obviously, on a daily chart, weekly chart, 4-hour chart. They're all going to be a little bit different. Okay, so that's it. Click the link here. become a member of Forex Trendy. It's actually a good product as well.